What are some of the differences between working here in New Zealand compared to in the Cook Islands or in the Pacific?
Oh, it's a big difference. Like in working in Raro, you'll hit the wall quite a bit. First and foremost is, as a developer, the internet is your best friend. Like the cost of just trying to develop a project down there in with limited speed and limited broadband, limited space, such a challenge. I remember developing projects down there with what's it, $99 for a 80 gig plan or something, like 80 gig for $90. I was savoring every download. I had to monitor my downloads, and here in New Zealand you don't worry about it. You pay $70 a month, unlimited plan, and just go upload downloads. So that's the biggest hurdle. And the other one is the landscape. Landscape's just not there for developers.
When you say landscape, what do you mean?
I remember because I was worked as a consultant, kind of like a tech consultant for about a year. Always challenged to try and get like these big projects, like at least be involved with it. But these projects that come to the Cooks, we commit to it, but there's none of our local talent that goes in to try and get some money out of it. So it'll always go back to an overseas established company, because what normally happens is the projects that they do develop, they do a great job, but when they do, it's a touch and go away. So when they do a handover, they expect the locals to try and run it. Fails, man, it always fails. Within a year or two, there's like hit a hurdle. Hey, Mana, can you come and help fix it up? Yeah, sure. Is there a budget? Oh, we spent the budget. Oh, we'll drip feed you the pay. It's like, doesn't work with me, man. Too hard. Just too hard. So all those overseas contract, with the contract to go overseas, they're always doomed to fail, and it works against the local. We've got talented boys there. They just haven't been given the opportunity, or one's their exposure. There's because they're stuck in Raro, they don't have limited exposure. Two, there's hardly any internet, so they don't have the opportunity to try and research as much as they should. Because as a developer, you're constantly doing research, latest and greatest technology, the frameworks, how to use the APIs, all that jazz, server systems, the cloud server systems that you got to use. Yeah, it's such a challenge. So that's internet's the biggest hurdle. Landscape's not, the policies are not aligned to suit locals.
Do you think there needs to be a rethink in the way the donors and those governments think about those projects and how they structure them?
I reckon they suspect it, but they don't hear it from the
guys on
the ground.
Yeah,
they hear it from I wouldn't say bureaucrats, but people who are quite influential. Basically, the ones that are non-technical, they're giving their advice without liaising with the local talent, or is it no one's really kind of
getting to the heart of it?
Yeah, getting to the heart of the problem. So, I mean, as a result of that, I did a thesis in 2014.
Is that your master's thesis?
That was my master's thesis, to try and identify what the hell was going on in the GIS space. I tailored towards the GIS space to find out what are the challenges our boys are facing, or our local talents facing. Yeah, and most of they're good boys. They're trying to do the best they can with a limited budget, limited opportunity to try and get things moving in their areas. Yeah, it always comes down to the cost of running those programs, and like access to technology as well. So what I liked about the GeoPortal project, the one I led, I started off with open source system because we didn't have any money, and then now it's evolved to like Esri based. The Eagle, we got good contacts with the Eagle guys, but there's just not enough talent, because the talent's coming here to New Zealand. All the guys that come out of high school, they need to extend their careers and that, so they fly elsewhere. Even USP is good. USB down there is good, but I think you need to crack it up a little bit more. Try and keep the talent in.
But without the projects,
but without projects, they have no incentive to stick around. If you had an established project, like a couple of established projects down that end, like say you got a project that's worth $5 million, that's $5 million that can be pumped back into the economy via local talent. Yeah, via local talent. So, but it's up to guys like, firstly, the guys of at the legislation level or the policy level to try and drive that, and then like having guys like you, Arnold, and I to try and help facilitate I know Mii's trying to do that at the moment, which is great. When I hear that CDAC program, Computer Development Advanced Computing, I know that program so well because I graduated. I was the first one, of course, to graduate from India. I went down there for 3 months and Ninja developed something. I can't remember what. But that CDAC program from India is now established USB or via USB, and Mii is trying to run it. I'd love to support it, but honestly, it's time. My life is here in New Zealand. Yeah, one day I'll obviously go back to Rara to retire, but not anytime soon. This is where the action's at. I get to talk to some of the best Salt Lake tech people in the industry. I sit on some negotiation panels with with Spark and them just to talk about opportunities with data, mobile data and stuff like that. I can't get that in Cooks, mate. We'll be talking about I'll be monitoring my internet all day. So that's kind of why I like it here. I do want to go back though. One day I'll go back and pass on whatever I've got. Yeah, whatever's valuable. But that's what we do. We're developers. We bend our backs, we break our backs to make stuff work. People think, well, as developers we get paid a lot. Not this one.